What if everything you believe about life and death is just the surface of a much deeper truth? For 95 years, Edgar Cayce's vision of Earth as a school for the soul was banned, hidden from the public eye. He claimed our lives here aren't random. They're lessons in a vast spiritual curriculum. Today, you're about to explore this forbidden knowledge and question what you truly know about your purpose. Are you ready to see the world and yourself through a completely new lens? Before we move into the deeper mysteries, let's rewind to the early 20th century and meet a man whose life and work challenged the boundaries of science and spirituality. Edgar Cayce, often called the Sleeping Prophet. From the 1920s through the 1940s, Cayce became a figure both revered and ridiculed for his trance readings, where he claimed to access a higher consciousness while asleep. Cayce's readings covered everything from healing illnesses to predicting world events. But perhaps what set him apart wasn't just the breadth of his insights, but the remarkable consistency with which he delivered them, often without conscious awareness. People came from all over the world to seek his guidance, drawn to his calm, humble nature and the seemingly miraculous results of his healing advice. Yet, buried beneath the more popular readings was a vision so radical that it threatened the established beliefs of the time. Cayce described Earth not merely as a physical planet, but as a vast school for souls. According to his vision, every human life was part of a larger curriculum, a spiritual evolution where souls grow, learn, and face challenges designed to shape their character and consciousness. Imagine that, your everyday struggles, your joys, your failures and triumphs, all part of a cosmic lesson plan. This idea struck at the heart of mainstream religion and science, which tended to separate the physical world from spiritual development, or reject the idea of reincarnation altogether. It challenged the finality of death and invited a much broader understanding of human existence. Because this teaching clashed with dominant religious doctrines and scientific materialism, it was quietly suppressed and dismissed. Many of Cayce's more controversial readings were excluded from popular collections and even removed from some archives. What was once a popular phenomenon became sidelined, labeled as fringe or pseudoscience. But why such resistance? Perhaps it's because the notion of Earth as a school demands a responsibility from each individual, to see life as more than random or meaningless, but as purposeful and deeply interconnected. It implies that morality, growth, and the soul's journey extend beyond one lifetime, offering hope and accountability that unsettled many gatekeepers of knowledge. This vision also hints at a universe far more alive and conscious than we tend to believe. Souls aren't just drifting through time and space. They are learning, evolving, and preparing for what lies beyond the physical. If true, this calls for a radical shift in how we view life, death, and even our sense of self. Today, despite being banned or ignored for nearly a century, Cayce's vision is quietly resurfacing. Modern spiritual seekers, some scientists exploring consciousness, and even psychologists are revisiting his work with fresh eyes. The idea of Earth as a soul school resonates with many who feel there must be more to life than material success and fleeting pleasures. So, before we move deeper, keep this in mind. What if your life isn't just a random series of events? What if you're a student in a grand cosmic academy, and everything you experience is designed to teach and transform you? This question lies at the heart of Cayce's banned vision, one that has the power to change how you see yourself, your purpose, and what truly matters. Now, Let's step deeper into Edgar Cayce's profound vision. The idea that Earth is not just a random planet floating in space, but a vast spiritual classroom. Imagine, for a moment, that every person you meet, every challenge you face, and every joy you experience is part of a grand curriculum designed to teach your soul lessons essential for growth. Cayce described this classroom not in terms of textbooks or lectures, but through real-life experiences. The struggles, moral challenges, and moments of love that shape who we are. This is no simple school with easy grades. It's a demanding, dynamic environment where the lessons are deeply personal and often difficult. What kind of curriculum? According to Cayce, souls come to Earth to learn through struggle, because growth rarely happens without challenge. It's in hardship that character is forged, compassion is born, and resilience is tested. The pain you've endured, the losses you've faced, even your failures, all become part of this spiritual education. And then there's the moral dimension. This isn't about dogma or rules imposed from outside, but about the soul's journey toward greater love and understanding. You're confronted with choices, moments that test your empathy, honesty, and courage. It's a curriculum that teaches not only how to survive, but how to love more deeply and live more authentically. Contrast this with the purely materialistic view of life that dominates much of modern culture. If life is just a random accident, a brief flicker of consciousness in a vast, indifferent universe, then hardship feels meaningless. Pain becomes something to avoid or numb. Success and failure become the only measures of worth. But what if that view is incomplete? What if beneath the surface of your daily struggles lies a hidden meaning? Cayce's vision suggests exactly that. Your life is purposeful, and your hardships have a higher purpose. This perspective doesn't erase pain, it transforms it. It asks you to see suffering not as punishment or bad luck, but as an opportunity for soul growth. Every setback is a lesson, every loss a chance to deepen your understanding of yourself and others. Imagine if you began to view your struggles as assignments from this cosmic school, lessons tailor-made for your unique soul's evolution. Would your perspective on hardship shift? Would resilience become more than a buzzword, and instead a path to awakening? And what about love? Cayce emphasized that love is the ultimate lesson, the thread that ties all other teachings together. In this spiritual classroom, you learn to love not only others but also yourself, recognizing that your soul's journey is interconnected with all life. This idea of Earth as a spiritual school challenges the nihilism and despair that so often creep into our minds. It invites you to see meaning in the mundane, to find purpose in pain, and to embrace life's challenges as essential parts of your soul's growth. So, here's a question for you. What if your toughest moments were not random misfortunes, but vital lessons designed to prepare you for a greater understanding? What if your soul chose this path before birth, knowing the value hidden in struggle? This vision turns life into a sacred process, a journey toward awakening that's as real and tangible as the air you breathe. It shifts the focus from external achievements to inner transformation, asking you to consider who you are beyond the body and the moment. And yet, this radical idea was banned and suppressed for decades because it unsettled the comfortable assumptions of both science and religion. It demanded a shift in worldview, a willingness to see beyond the surface and accept a deeper reality where souls grow, evolve, and ultimately transcend. As you reflect on this, remember, the classroom is still open. Your lessons continue, whether you realize it or not. What will you learn next? How will you respond to the challenges in front of you? This is just the beginning of the journey into Cayce's vision. A vision that dares to see Earth as more than a physical place, but as a vibrant, living school for the soul. Imagine life not as a one-time journey, but as a vast curriculum stretching across many lifetimes. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, offered a perspective that radically challenges our usual understanding of existence. According to his trance readings, reincarnation isn't just a mystical idea. It's a natural process designed for the soul's growth. Souls return again and again to this earthly classroom, each time confronting new lessons tailored by the experiences and choices they made before. Cayce saw reincarnation as more than a cycle of birth and death. It's a deliberate path of learning. Each lifetime is an opportunity to evolve spiritually, to refine character, and to resolve unfinished business. The struggles and challenges you face aren't random. They're echoes of past lives, shaped by your own actions and decisions. This is where karma enters the picture, the invisible ledger that records the moral balance of your soul's journey. What you sow in one life, you reap in another, but not necessarily as punishment, more as a chance to understand and transcend your previous limitations. This view introduces a profound kind of spiritual accountability, one that goes far beyond any human court of law or social judgment. While earthly justice is limited and often flawed, karma operates on a cosmic scale, ensuring that lessons are eventually learned and growth is achieved. It's not about blame or guilt, but about recognizing the deep interconnectedness of actions and consequences that span multiple existences. Imagine carrying not just the memories, but the spiritual debts and credits accumulated over countless lifetimes, shaping your current life's circumstances, relationships, and even your innate talents or weaknesses. What if the frustrations, conflicts, or recurring patterns in your life are not mere coincidences or misfortunes, but part of this soul-level curriculum? Cayce's readings encourage you to look deeper at your habits, your relationships, your fears and desires, as reflections of unresolved past life issues seeking resolution. For example, a difficult relationship might be more than chance. It could be a karmic opportunity to forgive, to heal, or to learn compassion. Chronic challenges or persistent blocks might be invitations to confront and release old wounds or mistakes carried forward. This framework offers a radical shift in responsibility and perspective. Instead of seeing yourself as a passive victim of fate or circumstances, you become an active participant in your soul's evolution. You start to see life's hardships not as meaningless suffering, but as tailored lessons designed to help you grow into a higher version of yourself. This also invites compassion, not only for others, but for yourself, recognizing that everyone is on their own complex journey, facing their own unique set of lessons. Cayce's vision suggests that the law of karma is balanced by love and mercy. It's not a cold ledger, but a dynamic process that responds to genuine repentance and effort. Souls can change, heal, and transcend their past limitations through conscious choice and spiritual work. This offers hope and agency, where many feel stuck in cycles of pain or despair. Now, ask yourself, have you noticed patterns or recurring challenges in your life that seem to defy explanation? Are there relationships, habits, or fears that repeat themselves in ways that seem bigger than just this lifetime? What might these be teaching you? Could there be threads linking your current experience to lessons from lifetimes past? By considering your life through Cayce's lens of reincarnation and karma, you open a doorway to self-reflection that's both humbling and empowering. It pushes you to move beyond surface appearances and question the deeper purpose behind your struggles and triumphs. It's a call to awaken to the reality that your soul is on a profound journey, one that transcends the boundaries of this single life and stretches across time itself. In this light, your life is more than just what happens here and now. It's part of an ongoing saga of growth, learning, and transformation, a soul's quest to evolve toward greater understanding and love. And you are not alone on this path. Every person you meet is traveling alongside you, also carrying their own karmic lessons and spiritual opportunities. So, how might your understanding of yourself and others change if you truly embraced this vision? Would it affect how you approach your challenges, your relationships, your own inner growth? Would it inspire you to seek deeper healing, forgiveness, or wisdom? Edgar Cayce's teachings invite you to explore these questions, not as abstract theory, but as a living reality that can reshape your life. Reincarnation and karma, as he described them, offer a powerful map for navigating the spiritual terrain of existence. They remind us that every hardship is a lesson, every encounter an opportunity, and every moment a chance to grow. This isn't just an ancient belief or a mystical fantasy. For Cayce, it was a practical guide, a way to make sense of the struggles and mysteries of life, to find meaning in suffering, and to awaken to the deeper truth that the soul's journey is far grander and more intricate than we usually imagine. As you move forward, consider the possibility that your soul has been here before, carrying forward the lessons of countless past lives. What might that mean for the way you live today? What if you are, right now, writing a chapter in a story that has spanned lifetimes? What new choices could you make if you knew your spirit was growing, learning, and evolving with every step you take? The journey of the soul continues, beyond birth, beyond death, and beyond what most people dare to see. And in that journey lies the promise of transformation, healing, and awakening. Edgar Cayce's vision of Earth as a school for souls offers one of the most hopeful and profound perspectives on life. Yet, for nearly a century, this idea was quietly pushed aside, even banned. Why would a message filled with meaning and spiritual growth be so strongly resisted? First, we have to understand the climate of belief during the early to mid-20th century. The dominant religious traditions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, were, and largely still are, deeply rooted in the idea of a single earthly life followed by eternal judgment. Cayce's teachings about reincarnation and karmic lessons ran directly counter to these core beliefs. This wasn't a minor theological disagreement. It challenged the very foundation of how people understood justice, morality, and the soul's journey. Those in religious leadership used their influence to dismiss Cayce's ideas as heresy or fantasy. Their voices carried weight across communities and institutions, making it difficult for alternative spiritual ideas to gain serious consideration. At the same time, psychology was emerging as a scientific discipline and was quick to reject anything outside its experimental scope. Concepts like reincarnation or karma were labeled unscientific, leaving Cayce's insights stranded in the margins. But there's more. The cultural atmosphere was dominated by faith in progress, technology, and measurable facts. People wanted explanations grounded in reason and evidence, and anything that suggested invisible forces or multiple lifetimes felt like a step backward. Promoting a worldview centered on soul growth through repeated lives didn't fit with the new modern mindset. It felt too mystical, too elusive to be taken seriously. Beyond religion and science, political and social factors played a role. Systems that rely on external laws and institutions prefer populations who look outward for justice, rather than inward for personal accountability. Cayce's vision implies that no human court or government holds the final say, that there is a cosmic justice operating on a much larger scale, across lifetimes. This level of accountability can be unsettling to those who benefit from control and predictability. Ideas that encourage spiritual self-responsibility tend to unsettle power structures, making suppression more likely. This resistance reveals something important about society itself. It suggests a collective reluctance to confront deeper truths about who we are and why we face certain challenges. Accepting Cayce's vision would mean seeing hardships not as random or meaningless, but as essential lessons carefully woven into the soul's path. That's a demanding perspective, one that calls for a serious shift in how life is approached. Still, these teachings didn't vanish completely. They survived quietly, passed along by those who searched beyond surface explanations. Knowledge that's hidden or banned always holds a particular energy. It hints at truths waiting to awaken those ready to look past conventional limits. Consider the possibility that life on Earth isn't just a series of accidents or biological processes, but a deliberate classroom designed for growth. How might that understanding change the way your own struggles and successes feel? What if every challenge you face is a step in a longer journey, moving you toward a higher understanding? If Edgar Cayce's vision was hidden for nearly a century, what other truths might be waiting, tucked away beyond accepted knowledge? What might it take to uncover them, and what would it mean to accept them? The barriers may be high, but the door to deeper understanding remains open for those willing to walk through. What if everything you've ever struggled with isn't random? What if it's part of a deeper lesson your soul is meant to learn? This isn't just hopeful thinking, it's a challenge to how you see yourself, your choices, and the very meaning of life. Ahead, we'll explore how this vision reshapes identity, free will, and the legacy you leave. Questions that could change everything you thought you knew. If Edgar Cayce's vision holds any truth, it forces a profound reconsideration of everything we think we know about ourselves and the choices we make. Life ceases to be just a random series of events or a simple ticking clock counting down to oblivion. Instead, it becomes something far more meaningful, an expansive classroom where each experience, each challenge, each moment carries the potential to teach us something vital about who we really are. Think of life as a classroom, not one with desks and chalkboards, but a vast, living space where lessons come disguised as everyday struggles, relationships, and decisions. The soul is the student, and every hardship or joy is part of the curriculum designed to push us toward growth. This reframing transforms our pain from meaningless suffering to purposeful learning. It suggests that no moment is wasted, no encounter random. But here's where it gets complicated and fascinating. If life is a classroom, then questions about free will and destiny come rushing in. Are we merely actors following a predetermined script? Or do we have the freedom to choose how deeply we engage with the lessons before us? Cayce's teachings suggest the answer lies somewhere in between. The soul is on a journey, traveling through many lives, but it isn't a passenger locked into a fixed path. There is room for choice, for growth, for transformation. The idea of soul evolution becomes central here. It's not about a one-time test, but an ongoing process. Like a traveler waking up from a dream, the soul gradually becomes aware of its deeper purpose and the unseen forces guiding it. Each lifetime offers a new opportunity to shed old patterns, confront limitations, and expand consciousness. This perspective gives even the smallest actions weight. How we treat others, how we respond to setbacks, how we nurture our inner life all contribute to this unfolding awakening. This raises another question. What does it mean to be awake? To be awake isn't simply to exist or to follow routines, but to recognize the lessons embedded in every moment. It's to see beyond the surface and understand that our struggles might be invitations to grow, not punishments or mistakes. When we are awake, we take responsibility for our own spiritual development. We stop blaming fate or circumstance and start engaging with life as an active participant in our soul's evolution. There is a powerful legacy in this awakening. What mark are we leaving on the world, not just in the physical sense, but on the spiritual fabric that connects all souls? Cayce's vision suggests that the soul's journey leaves a kind of imprint, like fingerprints on the cosmos, subtle but enduring. Each life contributes to the greater whole, weaving a tapestry of experience, growth, and consciousness. Viewing life through this lens reshapes identity itself. We're not just bodies or minds trapped in time, but travelers on a path of continual discovery. This challenges the common narrative of life as a battle against entropy or a mere biological process. Instead, it invites us to see ourselves as creators of meaning, architects of our own spiritual growth. But here's the tension that makes this vision so compelling. If consciousness evolves through repeated lives and lessons, how do we balance acceptance of what is with the drive to change? The soul's journey demands both surrender and effort, recognizing that certain events are beyond control while actively choosing how to respond. It calls for a harmony between fate and free will, between cosmic design and personal responsibility. In this light, your current struggles might be less about what's wrong with your life and more about what's right with your growth. Each challenge becomes a signpost pointing to lessons your soul has chosen to learn. The question then becomes not whether suffering exists, but how you respond to it. Do you resist, deny, or try to escape? Or do you lean in, observe, and allow it to transform you? Such reflection inevitably leads to a deeper inquiry. What legacy are you leaving on this journey? Beyond careers, possessions, and social status, what spiritual imprint will your soul carry forward? The vision that life is a school for souls invites us to look past immediate gratification and short-term goals, focusing instead on the long game, how our actions ripple through time and space. Ultimately, Cayce's vision challenges us to reconsider what it means to be human. Are we simply physical beings living once and then fading away? Or are we part of an immense, unfolding story that transcends a single lifetime? The answers we choose shape not only our understanding of life and death, but the way we live every moment in between. If life truly is a classroom, the question isn't whether you will face tests or challenges. That's guaranteed. The question is how awake you will be to the lessons, how deeply you will engage with the process, and what kind of traveler you will become on this remarkable journey. What if the teachings we've explored so far are just the surface? Hidden deep within the archives lie readings so profound, so radical, that they challenge the very foundation of how we understand existence itself. These lost messages hint at a cosmic curriculum, lessons and truths designed to stretch beyond anything you've ever imagined. Imagine knowledge that could rewrite the rules of life and death, revealing not just a soul's journey through time, but its place in an infinite, unfolding universe. These secret readings suggest that what we think of as endings might just be new beginnings, that every challenge faced here is part of a grander design, far beyond ordinary perception. For decades, these truths have been locked away, hidden by forces uneasy with their power, or perhaps unprepared to face what they reveal. What else has been erased or censored? What secrets remain buried, waiting to awaken those ready to see beyond the veil? You're standing at the edge of discovery. What you've learned so far could be the key to unlocking a spiritual map lost to history. But the deeper truths, the most transformative insights, remain just out of reach, for now. These readings promise to shift your understanding of reality, to expand the very limits of what you believe possible. They speak of connections between all souls, patterns woven across lifetimes, and a purpose that transcends the material world. Prepare yourself. The next step promises revelations that will unsettle, inspire, and forever change how you view your place in the cosmos. This journey is only beginning, and what lies ahead may leave you forever altered. Imagine, then, that these lost readings are not just forgotten pages, but keys to an entirely new understanding of existence. What if they reveal the true nature of time, the mechanics of karma, or even the purpose behind human suffering? The possibilities are staggering. It's as if a hidden chapter of the universe's grand story awaits rediscovery, one that could challenge the very foundations of science, religion, and philosophy. You stand at the edge of a profound awakening, where every answer might lead to more questions, and every revelation could transform what you thought was certain. The journey ahead is not just intellectual, it's deeply personal. How ready are you to face what lies beyond the veil?